Hey everyone, a very good afternoon and welcome once again to yet another new video presented to you by the Third Man Cricket Show. This is Amogh here talking about a very interesting topic today. I think we always talk about formats, and the game started with the purest format of the game, which is the test format. And then there are all these franchise based leagues nowadays, but this leaves us with a very important and intriguing question, if I may say. And the question is that is ODI cricket disappearing? So I think something very important that we will have to highlight going ahead, and it is something that needs to be paid utmost attention to, if I may say it this way. So yeah, this is the topic for today: is ODI cricket disappearing? I think we'll have to uh, lay focus on this topic a lot more than what we are doing in the current situation. So just an interesting fact to start with. I think the first ODI was played in the year 1971. If I may tell you, it was between England and Australia, but there's a very interesting twist to how the first ODI was introduced, or how was it played. So basically, it was a test match going on, and the third test match between England and Australia was washed out because of rains. The officials decided to play a game which was a one-off one-day international of 40 overs, but the twist is that एक ओवर 6 बॉल का नहीं था, एक ओवर 8 बॉल का था. So I think that's what the officials decided to play with. Since the test match was washed out, that's what the officials went ahead with, and this is how we cannot say that the ODI format was invented this way, but the first instance of a limited overs game being played in international cricket history was in 1971, and in this manner. So that's from where ODI emerged, and then we started having the World Cups every 4 years, and that's from where it picked up. And previously there were just two formats before 2007, if I may tell you. There was just the Test cricket format and the ODI. No one knew what T20 was, but today I think with the emergence of franchise-based leagues all over the world, and the ICC pitching in with the T20 World Cup every 2 years, I think ODI cricket has started taking its place on the back seat in the past few years. So that is what we'll be discussing about in today's video. So the ODI status that's been given to countries who can play ODI cricket regularly. 12 countries currently have that status, and the 12 countries are none other than Australia, England, New Zealand, Pakistan, West Indies, India, Sri Lanka, South Africa, Zimbabwe, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, and Ireland. So Afghanistan and Ireland are the two new additions which were added very recently. But these 12 countries have the license, if we may call it, to play the ODI format. These countries have the ODI status, the status to play a one-day game against each other at the international level. Another twist in the plot is that there are even temporary statuses given to as many as 8 countries around the world, and this is a status given to countries for 4 years. So depending on the performance, then they would be evaluated, and this status is basically given to countries who perform well in the World Cup qualifiers prematurely. So the temporary status countries are 8, namely Scotland, UAE, Nepal, Netherlands, Namibia, Oman, PNG, and the United States of America. So I think Scotland, Namibia, UAE, these countries are regularly seen. Even PNG, these countries are regularly seen in the World Cup qualifiers, pertaining to which they are given the temporary status through a period of 4 years. So this was the ODI status, that how many countries have it, and for the duration, or given by the ICC. Now we'll discuss one important thing, which is what can be the reasons that ODI cricket seems to be played very less these days, or whatever we call it, that ODI cricket is disappearing. There are numerous reasons to it, which we believe might be the cause for ODI cricket not being played as much. Right now, there is a series going on between Sri Lanka and Australia, West Indies and Pakistan, just getting done with the ODI series, and it is being played. Even India is due to play England in an ODI series later in July. So yeah, it's not disappeared completely, but it has taken the backseat, as I rightly said. And I say this because I have a very interesting stat. A very prominent player, नाम भी बता देता हूँ, Kane Williamson from New Zealand has just played two one-day internationals in the last 3 years. So this is something that tells us, and he belongs to a country that plays cricket regularly. New Zealand is not an associate nation, or a nation that does not believe in playing cricket regularly. So a player from such a country, their captain, has played just two one-day internationals in the last 3 years, which is an alarming factor in taking this discussion up, that is ODI cricket really disappearing? Is it really taking the backseat? So some of the reasons that we may state, or we may believe, are uh, so the first one is that franchise cricket, as I rightly mentioned some minutes ago, that franchise cricket is really taking up the chunk of the majority of the pie, if we may call it so. Franchise cricket, IPL, the BBL, the CPL, various leagues being introduced now, even the PSL, is taking up a lot of footage, as we call it, or is taking up a lot of space on the calendars of players. Cricket World Cup played after every 4 years. So if I play a Cricket World Cup in 2019, I don't have a purpose to play ODIs until 2022 or 2022, and 4 to 5 more months, because the Cricket World Cup will be played right in 2023. So I just need to prepare myself 5 to 6 months before that, a year before that. So there can be a lack of purpose, because the Cricket World Cup being played after every 4 years is anyways not helping whatever needs to be done to persist with ODI cricket throughout the years. A major reason obviously is that T20 World Cup is played after every 2 years. So I think there's more instinctive purpose. There's more things to enhance the minds of the ICC council, or the selectors, that we need to build a team that is more T20 centric, because T20 World Cup is being played every 2 years, as opposing the 50 over World Cup, which is played every 4 years. So there is more purpose to go ahead and play more T20 leagues, or T20 international games, if I may call it. The WTC championships, etc. There's the World Test Championship for Test matches. There's a T20 World Cup played every 2 years, but the 50 over World Cup is just played once in 4 years, as I said. So it really questions the purpose, because the World Test Championship, again, a fantastic inclusion, just uh, makes the players work hard over a period of time to get that World Chess Championship, which is currently with New Zealand. They defeated India last year, so it is currently with New Zealand. There's the T20 World Cup every 2 years, so there's again purpose to come up with building new T20 international sides, and trying out new players, so that you're ready whenever the T20 World Cup comes in, which is every 2 years. Uh, Majorly, another reason can be that money comes from franchisee cricket. So it's not that international cricket does not give money, ODI cricket per se, but I think we all know the amount of money that is generated, the amount of business that is generated from various franchise based leagues, say the IPL, BBL. IPL has a huge chunk of financing, or finances the business part of the league, that goes around with obviously the cricketing entertainment that it provides, and the numerous lessons that it gives young and budding cricketers. So the money coming in from franchise cricket can also be a very very good example, and a good reason so as to why ODI cricket seems to have taken the backseat. And another reason I can think of personally is the workload management of players. I think after playing uh, cricket, well, the Indian team is so busy that I think, yeah, they hardly have any time throughout the year. So I think tour after tour, they are going here, they're going there, and there's the IPL in between. ऊपर से अगर वर्ल्ड कप का साल होगा, then it becomes all the more difficult for players from India, Australia, England, various countries who are playing cricket regularly, to maintain their fitness, to take care of their own bodies, because they've been doing that for quite some time. And it really becomes difficult after a period of time. So workload management of players is another huge factor that can contribute, not completely, but I think it's a accumulation of all these factors together. It's not like it's been done deliberately that ODIs cannot be played and they need to be put on the back seat, but it is something that is happening because of all the other things accumulating at the other end. So I do firmly believe, we do agree that ODI cricket is disappearing and it needs to be played more often. But even the workload of the players need to be considered with all the franchise-based leagues going ahead. And as I said, if a player like Kane Williamson just gets to play two one-day internationals in the last 3 years, then I think it is something that needs to be thought about, because the most coveted trophy in the game of cricket still remains to be the 50 over World Cup, and it's played every 4 years, once in every 4 years. So I think it deserves a lot more games for its preparation than just a player like Kane Williamson getting just two ODIs in 3 years. So I think that was the topic today. And if you have any suggestions for us, if you have any say on this topic, you can always text us on our handles on Instagram, or you can just comment them down here in the video itself. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back again tomorrow with another excruciating video. Thank you very much for being here, and till then, goodbye. See you.